Solana has been having congestion issues like for the last like week and a half, almost 2 weeks.
Bro, that's crazy. I saw this picture of this guy who had punched his monitor screen.
I don't know if that's real. I saw the same picture.
You saw it?
Yeah.
His fingers bloody. He's like, someone told me to convert all my money to Solana and now this thing's not moving. But yeah, congestion is pretty bad on Solana right now.
It's much more complex than what everyone's making it seems like. Like, I'm not smart enough to understand it sometimes.
Besides the fact that Solana already is known for having service providing issues.
So it's not the servers.
It's a lot of information going in.
So it's not a lot of information.
What is
it's spam information going in.
Denial of service. DOS.
This one was DDOS.
That's distributed denial of service.
It was that one.
Okay, yeah. So it's like multiple different people are just spamming.
Welcome back
to another week.
Your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto podcast.
Hey, yo.
Welcome back, everybody. This is week 85 of our podcast.
Okay, weirdo.
William is operating on low battery.
Oh, I'm operating low battery?
Yes, literally.
I'm not. My computer is on low. Yeah, you're right. I think with me, my computer's at 20%. And I didn't bring my charger.
But we were right.
I don't know if we were right.
We were 100% right.
I don't remember if we were right.
We said we were going to be up.
I don't know if we're up.
Right now? Shit, did it go down like that today?
You look at prices?
It did. It did go down a lot.
That's it. This mother trucker dipped all the way to 68,474.
Do you remember where we were at last time?
No idea. Actually, I can. That's doable.
Yeah, that is doable. We were up.
So we're less down.
We're less down?
Yeah.
So we're wrong. We were wrong.
Because last week it dipped to 65. This week it dipped to 68.4 today. Mm-hmm. So we're good.
Okay.
We're up, but like not really.
Well, then I don't know. We were doing great up until today.
Yeah.
Up until today, I was like...
Last night, Asia market.
I was like, we're killing it.
Was like, here we go.
And why did they do that? What's up with Asia being all bearish?
I don't know if bearish is the right word.
So, what would be the right word?
So what I heard on, because I'm part of Sniper Club, was Asia just does the opposite of what we do.
They do the opposite of what we do.
So for the most part, on regular days, if Asia is green, U.S. session would take shorts on that. Doesn't necessarily have to pump the price up because that's a setup. And if Asia's red, U.S. would be like, oh, this is a setup to
make it green.
So Asia just brought it down, and it just America session didn't help because we had, what was it? We had 6,000 and something Bitcoin moved from Grayscale onto Coinbase to sell.
Did we? Is that what happened today?
That we had that happen today.
Oh, wow. I was not aware of that. And why did they move that 6,000 Bitcoin? Did they say?
To sell it?
To sell it.
Why else would they move it?
That's fair. That makes sense. It is a spot Bitcoin ETF.
This man's asking some smart question right now, huh?
It is a spot Bitcoin ETF, guys. So, yeah, that definitely doesn't help the case. So Americans were the bears.
No one was bearish. It's just people saw red and people kept on selling. That's
bearish.
This isn't bearish.
That is absolutely.
We're on
bearish.
Support. This is never bearish. I'm sorry.
No.
We're on support, not bearish.
If you're selling, it's because you expect the price of Bitcoin to go down.
That's not what you're selling. That's not what you sell.
That's exactly why you sell.
No, people panic sell because they see something like that moving. They're like, damn, the price of Bitcoin is going to go down. Before it goes down, I'm going to sell out.
That's being bearish.
That's being a panic seller.
That's the same thing.
No, I mean, if you want to call bearish panic sellers, that's fine.
Well, okay, so you're saying there's a distinguishing factor between the people who are panic selling and the people who are just like actual bears.
Yeah, and I also think there's a difference between us saying that this is bearish when we're still holding a support trend line. We're on support.
Okay.
Bearish would be, in my opinion, we lose trend line and we lose support and we just keep on going down.
Okay, so William, this is what separates you from me. you are an experienced trader with a
Not
lot more
experienced.
knowledge in the trading field than I do.
I do have that, but I'm not.
So I typically think, oh, bars are red, bears are out there.
There are,
But someone with as much experience as you will obviously tell the difference between
I'll say that.
panic sellers are not the true bears.
I wouldn't call it bearish. Not right now.
Okay, that's fair.
We were bearish a couple weeks ago, if you want to say that,
Mm-hmm.
when we had that first original drop.
Yeah, that one was bad.
That's bearish, but we've reclaimed
Mm-hmm.
some
momentum.
things.
Some support.
We've reclaimed support. We're on good levels. We're here.
We're still in the game, guys.
We're on support. We're on long-term trend line. No panic here.
No panic here. And if anything, we're actually
If anything, these were perfect buying opportunities if you did not take them to some of your favorite tokens
besides Bitcoin,
besides Bitcoin.
because we all know Bitcoin crashes, everything else also tends to crash.
You're right. Solana's on support. Well, it was on support on 171, and it dipped below that support line, but it was on support. Now that one did lose some trend lines, but if you readjust them, it's back in just a different trend line. But everything lost support for the most part.
Bitcoin halving is right around the corner.
10 days.
Right around the corner. Yep, pretty much. So the question is, will we see more pumping till then? And I guess that's going to be a question that we'll leave for later in the episode. Towards the end of the episode. If Bitcoin will pump some more. Long term.
Of course it will.
I mean, not long term, short term.
Also, by the way, a lot of tokens are doing the opposite of Bitcoin right now. Not a lot. A couple. Phantom didn't care for this wick down.
Mm-hmm.
Went boom, boom. Rocket ship. Ton network.
Ton.
Telegram's token that they're going to start implementing. What was it? Payment options for Telegram. Also did not care. Is in currently just all-time highs.
Yeah, because Telegram has straight utility. Payment options for an app like Telegram, that's straight up utility.
So there are a few tokens holding up good resistance towards the current market. Those are actually the only two that I have that I'm following that are up relative to the rest of the market.
Ton
And Phantom.
Phantom.
Yeah.
They did not care for anything else going down. But what I was gonna say was,
I did interrupt you.
Some Chinese funds are actually trying to get into the Spot Bitcoin ETF game and start selling their own Bitcoin, or start selling their clients on the product of Bitcoin. But we all know China is a big, what's it called? Not advocate, the opposite of advocate.
I don't know what the reverse term is.
Right? They don't like Bitcoin. They've implemented bans on Bitcoin already in China. So how are these Chinese companies going to be providing Spot Bitcoin ETFs is the question. And they're going to be going through Hong Kong. Their kind of like a Hong Kong division, posting their products through that city. Two specific funds have done this. Have started the paperwork. We got the China Southern Fund and the Harvest Fund, who recently filed paperwork to get a Spot Bitcoin ETF approval. These are pretty big companies. You tell me if you think they're big. With $284 billion and $230 billion in assets under management.
It's their biggest companies. It's their biggest.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely their biggest ones. But I don't know. Sometimes they say something's big and you're like, no, that's not big at all. So I just want to say, you let me know if it's big. But yeah, that's exciting news for Chinese investors. That's exciting news for anybody who's holding Bitcoin right now.
I mean, also they already had their gold ETF pump because everyone wants to get out of
That's true.
Is it the yuan?
The yuan.
Yeah. They want to get out of the yuan into harder assets.
But it's not just yuan. It's just any Chinese-based company. Like they're not trusting anything that's Chinese-based.
Yeah.
So
But like I'm saying, the Chinese companies want to
Yeah.
get out of
Mhm.
yuan too into
Yeah, it's
other
just
assets.
the trust that the Chinese citizens are having in their government is slowly and steadily depreciating. I wonder why. But yeah, gold ETF pumped like crazy. And
America's
now-
gold ETF is an all-time high, or was.
It was, yeah. I remember you talking to me about that last week.
No, this week it broke it.
Oh, it broke it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Good.
had 340.
Yeah, you told me like last week, you're like gold's sky high right now, and then if it broke it again, then people buying gold.
Yeah.
People are seeing that there's a need for scarce assets, which is fun stuff for the economy. Speaking about the economy, we got a consumer price index report coming out tomorrow, I believe, or it's probably already came out by the time you guys heard this. So that will probably be
Comes out tomorrow. Will probably affect the market.
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Good or bad?
It's gonna affect the market.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking.
Like, it's gonna react.
I was like, I don't know. William.
I mean, if they say higher inflation, it could.
I don't think they're gonna raise interest rates anymore. But I don't think they're gonna be cutting it either.
They might cut later.
Later, yeah, towards the end of the year, if.
I'm also forgetting, just because they haven't done it, they can just be like, oh, inflation has gone down enough and it's the end of the year, or like before November, we're bringing down the rate by, what, I was going to say 25, by 300 basis points.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, towards the end of the year, possibly.
Yeah, but you can just go, we're going to cut it 3.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the 25, the 0.25%.
No, it just be the full 3%.
Mm-hmm. And but right now I just don't see that as a possibility.
No, I mean, if they have to cut rates because the government can't afford the debt if they don't cut rates.
When is that due?
I think it renews sometime like between now and like the end of the year too.
Okay.
Like it's in the same time frame,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why it's kind of like a big deal. Or is it like now and then like beginning of next year, something like that?
Yeah, so soon.
It's relatively soon for what it is.
I see.
And even if they increase spending itself, the new rates they're getting for those loans are still high.
Yeah, significantly higher
So
than what they got. Yeah,
they have to address the issue. Is what I'm saying.
they need to address the issue,
or at least cut rates so they can afford the.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely gonna cut the rates. That's for sure. They're gonna cut the rates.
They have to cut the rates before we're either forced to pay or renew.
But the government isn't the one that tells the Federal Reserve to cut the rates.
No, but you can Armstrong them.
How? Aren't they like separate entities?
But Powell's appointed by the president?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
The head of the Federal Reserve is appointed by the president?
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna search it up.
Google it.
Yeah, because I asked because this is a question that I think I was asked that the other day and I didn't. I was like, you know what? Not if the is.
Who appoints Jerome Powell or the head of the Fed? That's the way. But yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's not a big deal. But
No, but still, yeah. If they choose to cut the rates, then the government could issue out more bonds,
yes.
and then continue spending.
Yes.
The Fed. How is the Federal Reserve Bank president selected? So it's set by the Federal Reserve Act, subject to approval of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. The president is appointed by the Reserve Bank's Class B and C directors. So no, not the president. It's issued by the bank, directors of the bank. Yeah, it's just crazy because like the Federal Reserve is its own private entity. It's not a branch of government yet. I know that the Fed makes money by offering loans to the government, obviously.
So I'm not saying you're wrong what you just said, but this is how Jerome Powell got elected. He became a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors after being nominated to be the post by President Barack Obama in 2012. He was subsequently elevated to chairman by President Donald Trump, succeeding Janet Yellen, and recommendations to the position by President Joe Biden. Powell built his reputation.
That's weird because I just pressed back and I see other sources that are saying appointed by Biden, appointed by Trump.
He's appointed by the president.
Yeah, but I read that off the Federal Reserve website, so that's why I don't understand why.
Yeah, nominated by Barack Obama. Why does the Reserve
website say one thing and then?
Because I think there could be a board and maybe they're given choices. Like, this is something we're also not researched on to talk about right away.
We just pulled this out.
But either or, it's not a direct election. He is to a degree he can be appointed
by the president.
Or selected by a president.
Okay, I see. So to a degree he definitely can be strong armed.
And I'm not saying by the president. I'm just saying they can also just be like, you won't get reelected. They'll make him look like a bad guy, and then I don't think what Powell's doing is wrong. By the way, keeping rates up or when he raised rates, I don't think it was wrong of him doing it.
No, it was 100% necessary.
Now that the government just keeps on spending, it's not helping the issue. Different story.
Yeah, it's a different story. Yeah.
But that comes out tomorrow. Most people don't think there will be a
definitely no cut.
No cut in May like they said. It'll probably be further down.
I just thought it was crazy when they announced it. They're six rate cuts. I was like, 6 is a lot of rate cuts.
It's not.
It's
not if you're doing 25 basis points.
Huh?
It's not if you're only doing.
If you're doing it smaller, it's manageable. He's trying to do that soft landing thing, but
it's a lot if you're going down 1%, 1.5%, 50% maybe, but not when you're doing a quarter.
But that just comes out, so you guys will probably be able to search.
We'll see how the market reacts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard a thing saying that whatever the market is the day before. Whatever happens after like one of those reports, the market typically reacts opposite.
So
if the market's red,
let's say the market's red is on April 10th tomorrow. Yesterday, if you're watching this.
Well, the market's red today, so it's saying if the market's red
today,
the day before is red, the next day is the opposite of whatever news it is, good or bad. The market does the opposite.
Oh, just the opposite?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not. We'll take it. We'll see.
We'll see tomorrow.
And this will come out for Thursday. We'll see what happens then.
Yeah. We can play some bets. By bets, I mean like investments into short-term trades.
Sure.
I'm not talking about illegal gambling over here. We already covered that. Some previous episode. So, what do you think, William?
About?
The space? What's going on? Anything in particular that has tickled your pickle and like really got your attention this week?
Why are you asking me like that? Is that what I just want to be clear? You didn't know where to go next? I just want to know.
I'm just curious. What do you mean I didn't know where to go next? We're not going anywhere, William. We're staying right here.
I don't know, because I feel like that's a grab. I don't know, you just came out to me randomly.
You're staying right here.
After because I just finished talking.
We're going nowhere.
So that's why I found funny. I just finished talking and then you decided to put it back on me. I'm like, I'm like, I guess.
Well, I have like something cool that happened on in technology in terms of operating systems. We talked about the Apple like vulnerability that people were talking about a while ago.
Yeah.
In terms of crypto, a new vulnerability came out, not for Apple. This is completely different. For Linux. Are you familiar with Linux?
No.
So Linux is one of the biggest.
I'm sure you're using Apple.
Linux is one of the biggest operating systems. Next to Apple, what's it called?
Windows.
Mac and Windows. Linux is
operating system.
Gotcha. Correct. But the difference between Mac, Windows, and Linux is that Linux is 100% open sourced.
Okay.
So it's all published like on GitHub, on the like repositories. You could get it from this like organization website. So since it's all open source, there's a bunch of different like packets of like utilities. There's just one specific packet of a utility called XZ Utilis. That's it's used to compress and decompress files or information for processing. And there was just one guy Giatan, who uploaded or worked on that specific packet, on that specific like utility, and he introduced a backdoor to this open source system.
He left the backdoor there.
Okay. Super discreet. Like, I'm talking like a very small, like very important but very small.
You would have to be looking for to find it type of thing.
The way this was found was because some Microsoft developer was working on something using Linux, and he realized that something was just not quite right. He was like, this is taking a little longer than it should be. He saw that he got some random error from that thing. He's like, the statement was that he noticed a half a second delay in the packets being transferred, or like
nothing
that
our dumbasses would catch.
like it was, everyone's saying it's like the immensely small window of opportunity that happened multiple times, because it wasn't just like a one-time event. It was like he kept on seeing it on multiple.
Yeah, every time he does this action, it requires half a second.
It was just a little slower than he expected it to be. So he started looking into it, and he found out that there was this backdoor put into it. So another crazy part about it is that before this, Giatan, who, mind you, we don't know who Giatan is. It's just
it's just a name on the thing for
some
the package.
pseudonym on GitHub for the person who's made
this.
Mm-hmm. There was another guy. I couldn't find his name, but he was the one person who was actually maintaining that utility for Linux for years already, for decades almost.
What do you mean? This has been there for years, for decades.
No. So, okay, one guy has been maintaining it, like the actual utility. XZ Utilis is what it's called.
But what is it like?
It compresses and decompresses files.
So that one person's been maintaining that file, but it's had that backdoor since when? Is what I'm asking.
So the guy, this backdoor just got published recently. This Giatan dude reached out to the core developer that was supporting XZ.
One guy.
Just one guy.
Gotcha.
He goes, hey, you seem like you need some help. I could help you. Whatever. He started building credibility with this guy and then other people on GitHub.
Requested his help.
We're giving him credibility. So then finally this guy started trusting him. And after 2 years of building credibility and like trying to work with this specific function, he slips in the back door. It was noticed in no time, like literally no time. From when it was published to when it got noticed, it was a short period of time. I don't remember exactly the period, but
less than a month.
If I say 2 months, it was a long time.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, so within a month, probably even less. I'd have to search it up. I'm sorry, guys. I should have known that, but I forgot to write that down or remember it for that case. Everyone got involved. This guy from Microsoft saw it. He posted it. Everyone on Microsoft's security team started looking for it. FBI got involved.
That's crazy.
It got to the point where like this might not even be one guy. It could be a nation state. Who was William? The amount of computers that run Linux is insane.
Yeah, it's
like literally kind of like end users like you and me would be using Microsoft or Windows because. Mac or Windows, because it's more user friendly. Mm-hmm. Linux, the vast majority of it,
of like developers, programmers,
it's a lot of like command line based.
Yeah, they use that.
Yeah, so for the back end stuff,
so they're attacking codes,
servers. Yeah, so like a lot of service providing type of computers use Linux, and
so they went after the industry to a degree.
Yeah. This is like a core infrastructure type of attack. Gotcha. It was technically a supply chain attack because since XZ Utilis is part of the Linux distribution and everybody who downloads Linux is gonna get it, it's like the supply chain was a little compromised. Mm-hmm. So it got crazy. It goes. Someone who is this? Anjana Rajan, who works for the she's the national cyber director for the White House, says this is like an insider threat in the open source ecosystem, which we haven't really seen before, because someone who was supporting the packet uploaded it. So it's like insider threat, but from the open source type stuff. Like typically we see insider threat from, like, let's say someone in
one person within the organization.
Within the organization, like let's say Microsoft or Apple.
But it is someone that's an open source system.
Open source, like you don't really see insider threat within open source because it's everybody, like anyone could upload.
Yeah, so like anyone could have caught that very.
Mm-hmm. It's just this guy picked a very specific function within Linux that was only maintained by one person. All the other ones were maintained by dozens of people, groups of people. So it just like it pointed out a very random weak link within this open source community.
Gosh.
And that was just like huge news. This happened a week and a half ago.
And they can't find the guy or the agency or whatever.
No, nothing. They don't know who it is. Obviously, they're going to be watching out for any other occurrence of that, but.
And probably let everyone know who's using this to like stop using it. And they'll probably go in and rewrite the code.
That depository for GitHub for that specific function of Linux has already been frozen. It's like you cannot make edits on this.
Yeah,
they reverted it to how it was before. You cannot make edits. So it's like safe to use now. They issued an official CVE, which is a common vulnerability and exploit like number. So they issued an official CVE, so you could track it if there's any updates on that.
Okay.
I'm talking about open source developers issues. I saw, and I don't know if you saw this, Michael Saylor has apparently been getting some heat lately. He made like some type of threat. This is something I saw on Twitter, and I was like, what's going on with Saylor now? Apparently some type of so the ETFs were gonna start contributing like donations and kind donations to Bitcoin Core developers.
They were gonna do that. Okay.
And Michael Saylor was like, do not do that. Like the threat supposedly, like, I will end you if you do this type of threat.
Okay.
I didn't see any of this threat itself, but I saw a lot of people talking about it. So I was like, what's going on?
And they said the ETFs or specific ETFs?
I think it was a specific ETF. It might have been Grayscale.
It wasn't. It was Bitwise.
Bitwise? Okay.
Because I saw an interview with Pump that he did with the two founders and co-founders of Bitwise, and he talked about how they're going to take
a portion
of profits that they make and spread it out to
core developers.
Core developers.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, then Bitwise.
I only double check just in case you heard something different from what I saw.
I didn't see that it was. The thing is, I didn't even see the thread itself. I just saw people talking about what's going on. Like, some people were like, "Oh, why? What's the controversy here? Like, what did Michael Saylor say? Who did he say it to?" But yeah, Bitwise sounds about right. And Saylor, the supposed statement was like, "I will end you if you send these people money." Because the issue being, or at least the they say it's like one of those like hot topics, like it's a hot take. Because if such a large amount of money from a single entity gets sent out to core developers, that could be used as like incentive for like lobbying towards specific functions being added to the Bitcoin core. And in this case, a large entity like Bitwise would have a lot of sway into the people who are supporting the Bitcoin network. Therefore, getting in certain utilities or functions within Bitcoin that benefit larger entities. And now there's like this whole like push for a specific Bitcoin core developer or group of core developers to publish a wallet address so that they could start receiving donations. Like, people are like, if they post their wallet address, I'm gonna start sending Bitcoin to them for donations for all the work that they do.
Who's in the people?
Yeah,
like
people. Yeah. So like, so the people that I've been reading on X were saying, if the developers start dropping addresses, I'm gonna start sending donations.
It's a form of lobbying.
It can be a form of lobbying. Exactly, of course.
It most likely would turn to a form of lobbying.
Exactly, and
whether you want it to or not.
And that's what Michael Saylor wanted to avoid.
I wouldn't just say that 100%, just because he's also switching his company to a Bitcoin developing company of software. So he's also going to develop on it or develop things for it. So I would also take that with a grain of salt. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, he could
like that's also like part of
trying-
it.
trying
I would assume
trying to get
stay ahead.
Yeah,
But
keep
that is
competition away.
100% a form of lobbying. It could easily become that. I think the only way you'll be able to make it work is if those wallets were to become like you can't touch it for an X time period.
Mm-hmm. The wallets, like the ones that the
If you were to want to really implement that,
mm-hmm.
the wallets you send it to those developers, those wallets will have to be like an escrow. You can't touch it for a certain time period.
Mm-hmm.
Before up until that time period, that unlock is released, then you can go ahead and use it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is in there.
like a time locked wallet.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Similar to like how, moving away from this topic just a little bit, how you off the pod you said that they finally bought the FTX estate with I don't know how much Solana was like 30,000.
Yeah, that's a different topic, but yeah, they bought $30 million.
30 million.
30 million Solana.
Yeah,
My bad.
and that Solana can't be sold on the open market right away.
Yeah,
It's locked for another 4 years.
a portion of it.
A portion of it, and the other portion has already reached a certain unlock, which they may or may not sell. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But similar idea.
Yeah, it's essentially yeah.
Yeah. I saw Bitwise talk's interview with Pomp on it was on some interview he did. I'll make sure to link on at the bottom.
Bitwise with Pomp.
Yeah, well, he was doing a panel like you know how he did in
Okay.
similar to how he did in what was where we went
Lyceum.
Similar idea, and he had those were two of his guests.
Okay.
And that he himself said, I am invested, some of my portion of Bitcoin is invested into Bitwise since they have the lowest fees and they're the most crypto focused company
for
that.
Mm-hmm.
And also the smallest, one of the smallest funds with the ETF.
So he's out here supporting small businesses.
They're not that small, but yes, they are pretty small in comparison to the big ones. I didn't see that. I wouldn't say he didn't say that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I got kind of like. I was like, but where did he say it?
I have to look for it, bro.
Someone was like denying it. It was like, no, he never said any of that. But I saw a lot of people talking about it. So I was like, what's going on?
I mean, it could have been a rumor I was started. AI, anything. I'm not saying it was, but
possible.
I just don't know about it.
But nonetheless, the point does stand though. Having ETFs, large funds, do like donating to the core developers. It can lead to
very easily too.
Yeah, especially when they're dealing with a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But that comes with like organization. Like they're kind of operating in a way that should be lean. They should have funds.
Yeah, but you can't donate because that's what lobbying is.
Yeah, that is what lobbying is.
It's literally what lobbying is, whether we wanted to say it or not. Like lobbying should be illegal, and a large company should not be able to donate. Now, do I think individual people shouldn't? Is a different story. But on that same note, you can have large whales doing the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like. In crypto, it's it's because people who got rewarded early on have large portions. They can.
Yeah, so I think the whales who are whales now probably got in early because they got in early. They took a big chance and they took a big risk. For the most part, I think they're pretty like golden. I don't think they'd care too much.
If they donate, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so like, yeah, they might donate, but like, I mean, if they donate, they'll just to give back. I don't think they would be like, oh, but you should really. I might be just.
You're looking at too nice.
Yeah, that might be the case. Scratch that. A
lot of them would be that, and then there will be the ones that aren't. And
there will be. Yeah.
There will always be the one whale, the one bad actor that goes implement this, and again, maybe it gets. Then ideally, decentralization takes place. And everyone goes to vote and they go, no. Because then the whale doesn't have enough of the market. That's the other counterpart. It is decentralized. The entire or the majority of the system has to agree upon it. So are you able to buy out that many people? At that point, maybe not. So I would say this. It's worth a test, if anything.
It definitely would be a test that we would cross
whatever happens after that happens after that.
It would be a test that we would cross at some point.
But that's a test that can easily be crossed one day.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
So on that note, since this is actually very relative to what we just talked about in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Solana has been having congestion issues like for the last like week and a half, almost 2 weeks.
Bro, that's crazy. I saw this picture of this guy who had punched his monitor screen.
I don't know if that's real. I saw the same picture.
You saw it?
Yeah.
he's blood. His fingers bloody. He's like, someone told me to convert all my money to Solana, and now this thing's not moving.
Yeah, which is not true. I had issues destaking, but
yeah, congestion is pretty bad on Solana right now.
Right now, so it's a multi-layered factor, and it's much more complex than what everyone's making it seems like. Like I'm not smart enough to understand it sometimes.
Okay, but there's a lot going on.
It's big.
I mean, besides the fact that Solana already is known for having service providing issues.
So it's not the servers.
It's not the servers.
No.
It's a lot of information going in.
So it's not a lot of information.
Then what is
it? It's spam information going in.
Okay.
So it's not like it's not regular people doing transactions. It's part of it.
Okay.
Are bot attacks on the network.
Denial of service attacks.
Huh?
Denial of service.
Yes.
That's what the DOS.
Yes, it is. This one was DDOS.
That's distributed denial of service.
It was that one.
Okay, yeah. So it's like multiple different people.
Yeah.
Are just spamming.
Yeah, there's multiple spam attacks, and there's this token on top of that. There was a token that was just released. That's a mining token, right? The only way you mine it is by spamming the network.
Shut up.
Yeah. The only way you can mine the token is by spam. It's called ORO or ORD. Something like that. Look, I would look it up on my computer, but
that is
said basically
crazy.
And it's attributing to the transaction spam.
That is crazy.
But the thing is, it's not so much that. So it's not even that the transactions are failing on a blockchain level. It's like I was on Phantom trying to unstake, and my transaction wouldn't get processed to go to on the blockchain.
Okay.
So when I would click unstake and it would say your soul is being unstaked, like the thinking bar, the loading bar, I would click soul scan to see where it was at, like what block or whatever. Soul scan wouldn't load. It was already not loading before that. Like it wasn't getting on chain.
So it wasn't even making it to the.
It wasn't even making it on chain. Like it just didn't let it go.
What did you say the thing was called?
ORD, ORO.
OR. Okay. OR.
It just launched like maybe a week ago.
Or miners.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Here's or miners chase lucrative rewards. Okay, this is the recent launch of OR, a new cryptocurrency token on the Solana blockchain, has ignited a mining frenzy that is contributing to network congestion.
Boom.
Users are reporting difficulty getting transactions through, and many point to the lucrative rewards associated with the OR mining as a significant cause of slowdowns.
Yeah. So that's like adding to it.
So OR is was trading at over $8 million market cap on April 5th.
Where's that now?
Well, I don't know. There's just a tweet that they posted.
Well, what's the thing for it?
ORE.
ORE.
OR mining stands apart from traditional cryptocurrency mining methods. Rather than miners competing to solve the same complex puzzle as with Bitcoin, OR assigns unique puzzles to each miner. Every miner who provides valid solutions to their puzzle within a set time period receives a portion of the OR reward. So then they're just constantly submitting. Oh, I see what the issue is with that.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah, they're constantly submitting onto the chain their answer for
yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
And since there's so much, I watched a video talking about that, and it said like it's 30% of current transactions. Like
wow,
30% of like the congestion is just that.
It's just coming from OR. That's crazy.
So that's not helping it out.
They just need to stop OR.
Right? So that's part of it. And also, currently Solana is the most used blockchain.
Yeah, 100%.
So one of the arguments people are also saying is there's no blockchain currently out that if you give them the same amount of current users, wallets, everything, could support and wouldn't be congested. Or unless like it's ETH and it has super high gas fees.
Yeah,
and it could manage it like that.
Yeah, so that's a thing with the crypto trilemma. Solana is just very centralized, so then therefore it can afford to do this with a lot less gas fees, versus Ethereum, which is supposedly more decentralized but much more expensive.
So they're currently going to roll out in the coming, I think it was next week or the coming weeks, a new patch for it. I forgot what the patch number was. It was like 1.118, something like that. Before the end of year final launch of like the last software like upgrade to it, which was Fire Dancer, which is essentially an RPC node, if I'm not mistaken, to help just with everything to avoid these issues, like to avoid further issues.
I heard of Fire Dancer. That's something that already came out?
It's coming out.
It's coming out.
They said middle year, later this year, but this year.
Yeah, that should be good for the network then. Hope it.
And they're rolling out the fix now for the spam attack.
Okay.
To hopefully get, because it's still usable, but it's not helping. Like
just block OR, man. Just block OR. It's not gonna help the network in any way.
But you can't block OR. You have to find a way to have it work and the blockchain still be usable. That's the issue. That's what you have to do. You can't, because then it goes away from what blockchain is. Build whatever you want on top of another thing.
If it's worth it.
But like meme coins, they're not worth it, but they're taking hella space. It's like what happened with Ordi, not Ordi, Ordinals on Bitcoin. Everyone hated it because it's taking up space. It's part of the chain, bro. It is what it is.
Look at the price of Bitcoin now.
Look at the price, yeah.
It's like saying, look at the price of Bitcoin after Ordinals came out, man.
It's like, that's arguable.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's supporting the chain, but does the chain need it? Is it worthwhile?
Who are you to decide if it's the market?
Well, in this particular case, it's hurting It's hurting the chain.
I don't know if it's hurting it. I don't want to say it's hurting it because there's no chain doing what Solana's doing either way.
Okay, you're saying it's just a little speed bump that it's got to deal with.
Currently,
Solana needs to get better. I'm not saying that it's doing bad. It's just they need to get better.
What I'm saying is the reason also I think it's a privileged position is because there is no chain, not combined, that's doing the transaction amount that Solana is. True.
And privilege in the sense of Solana,
like we haven't had real issues with Sol until as of late. Like we had the 4-hour blackout a month back now, maybe 2 months.
Back in February.
Yeah, and now we had this congestion issue that it is annoying. It's not like it's not annoying, but they're also saying you can fix it just by paying a little bit of higher fees.
Praying priority,
making your priority, and stuff like that, and like helping with slippage to just be able to get the transaction approved faster to get away from the spam. Again, it defeats the purpose because you have to pay a little more. But it's like, I do believe that at this point in time, there is no chain that would be able to handle it in any good way.
Yeah, smart contract enabled, definitely no other one.
Even proof of work enabled, you'll have a different issue.
Well, I say smart contract enabled because Ethereum's not proof of work anymore, but it had smart contracts. Ethereum's just a whole nother issue. Yeah,
but I'm saying like if you had this pressure on Bitcoin, you'll still be waiting 5 days for your transaction to get approved.
Well, yeah, Bitcoin's main chain is completely like the core Bitcoin chain is super slow.
So that's kind of the whole thing of 7
transactions per second.
We don't know what's gonna happen next until we get to that problem.
Yeah,
type of an ordeal.
True.
Until we didn't know this was gonna happen to Sol until it got here. Now you gotta fix it. I think that would be with any chain. Like any chain, as it develops, you'll be like, oh, this we thought it could do better. Something's not adding up. And then there's like other technical things that they're using. That's just like they're using Quick, this thing from Google. To I don't know what it does. I'm not technical enough.
Quick?
Yeah.
I think okay. Continue.
I just don't know enough about it to like really elaborate on it.
Okay.
And it's like
just a quick little snippet of what you could tell me about it.
I don't know enough.
Nothing. Okay. Quick is according to this, Quick is a general purpose transport layer network protocol initially designed by Jim Raskin at Google. Implemented in 2012, introduced in 2013.
Okay, I can read it.
All connections for Chrome web browsers.
So it says Quick Buggy ET for patch April 15th. So this is what this Twitter thread reads. However, that doesn't mean Solana has a design flaw. It means it shows a buggy implementation for this part of its design, i.e., where it needs to change one of its tires, not change the vehicle type altogether. For technical folks, it's the Quinn implementation of Quick. That's the issue, not even Quick itself necessarily. Attaches an image of Richard, one of the core Fire Dancers engineers, saying, for example, Fire Dancers implementation does not suffer from the same issue. Note, it's not the only issue on Solana. There's also economic factors. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I see. It is actually very technical. I'm reading Quick's Wikipedia page, and this does get into a lot of networking stuff. I can see where the issue comes.
So this just says.
I would have to look at this significantly more time
just to read what this says, because it's very technical, and I myself can't fully elaborate on it. It says, yes, Quick is complex, but Solana's current issues stem from improper packet prioritization and other implementations deficiencies, and have nothing to do with that. The FB Quick library we built does not suffer from such performance problems, but it still takes Quick. So it's just like probably what one of the things that read transactions or reads in developer stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely developer
It's not
stuff.
working 100% to its full capacity.
Yeah, okay, I see.
That's why it was showing like 74% of transactions failing, but like they weren't even failing. They didn't have a chance to fail.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing it could read on your end. What transaction failed?
Yeah,
because the transactions on chain were still going through.
We're going through. It was just more so that they weren't making it to the chain. Also,
adding caveat to this, because I know it's kind of technical, out of my realm, a little bit out of yours currently.
But yeah, it was something technology that I'm not familiar with.
Not prepared for. Is also that we're also working with things like Solana, meme coins, all these other things. Mm-hmm. There's also just low liquidity, low amounts of money movement in the more degen you go. So that doesn't help the transactions to approve them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, people are less likely to spend a little bit more money to get the transaction.
Like I was able to convert my some meme token to WIF. It took me like 2-3 tries. Mm-hmm. And I think part of it is not just because I'm like, you have to find a seller. You're sending this to the pool. Mm-hmm. Someone has to be willing to take that to convert to this.
Yeah, so the transaction could be pending.
It could also I think that's also part of it.
Yeah, so I think you could like issue a sell order, but then like you obviously will not receive it until someone sells it to you. And
I think like Jupiter was working pretty well. Like there are some dexes that were still working fairly well.
Okay.
So with some issues, but better.
Yeah.
And I was able to stake today, no issue. Like I clicked it, went in, and it allowed me to stake, no problem. So
it's like you said. It's just these are headaches that come as you start developing the chain, and like you don't understand it until new products come out and more things happen. I kind of look at like each blockchain as like its own like company of sorts. It's like they just operate a certain way, and each one kind of like provides its own services. And like any company, whenever they're working, just doing their thing, they're gonna have their headaches. They're gonna like certain things are gonna pop up where, now we gotta deal with this. Gotta address the situation. And just like either work around it or get over it.
100%.
If it doesn't absolutely end you. And Solana has been more than resilient in the past.
Yeah.
They literally, back in February, went down for 4 hours, and their price barely budged. So Solana's very resilient blockchain. That's for sure.
I'm not saying there can't be better solutions. The only thing I'm saying is we'll also have to wait and see when another chain gets the same amount of transactions.
Yeah.
In a day, and see how they hold.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of the other chains don't get those transaction volumes because their fees are just so much higher.
Or they're newer chains.
Mm-hmm. True, yeah, not as much liquidity in those chains.
Because you have other chains that do like Base does quick transaction. Like you have Arbitrum, Sui. You have other things built on ETH as a layer 2 that work faster, but just it's a layer 2. You have to bridge it. It becomes a thing.
There's this new project that's coming out that got my attention today.
I want to talk about something Bitcoin related before we moved on.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is it got my attention, but it's not something I necessarily endorse.
Okay. So before we go to that, so I'm gonna show you guys. There's only 1.7 million Bitcoin left on exchanges.
Damn.
So I'm gonna show you the chart I saw.
Okay. 1.7 million left on exchanges. Yeah, the balances are low. Definitely very low. Bitcoin's price sitting pretty. I mean, on this chart around $70,000.
Yeah, this is probably before
it
dipped back down. Well, that's also with Tuesday. The report isn't out yet so that we can see, but there was more outflows and inflows on Monday from Grayscale alone. So, like we talked about, it's only gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Like essentially, everyone's just buying up Grayscale's whatever Grayscale throws out.
Yeah.
So it's like the pop tire in your car, just slowly bleeding out until it's like empty.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. It has a hole.
It has a hole.
It has a hole. It's not popped. I hear pop and
it has a hole. It's punctured.
Yeah, it's
punctured. And it's just airing out slowly.
Yeah, slowly.
So the faster those outflows go out, though, the faster we can get to that price moving forward.
Yeah. And
less of this ranging motion we currently have.
100%.
And the chart was showing that the current supply is only dropping, and the current price is either staying high or just continue to rise.
Rising, yeah.
And that's currently also because of that Grayscale outflow.
And Bitcoin halving just around the corner. So there'll be even less. Not even less.
Apparently, the price of Bitcoin stays like 3 to 4x of a certain number, of certain average above, so that miners can afford to pay for their stuff.
Yeah, miners don't sell Bitcoin if they don't mine it for.
So it doesn't even happen. It's not a one-day thing. It's that price of Bitcoin has to stay at that price for a long period of time to cover. I heard this on Banter, by the way.
Now, unless the miner is willing to take less profits for their Bitcoin,
but they wouldn't, because not because they can't, but just because they would be setting at a loss in terms of not even making profits.
Yeah, because they I mean, okay, so for mining, like you have to take into account that A, you need the land that you're going to be mining on. B, you need the actual
space, electricity, equipment,
and then
like bare minimum, that's your bulk expense.
That's the biggest ones, and then engineers.
Yeah,
someone who actually knows how to maintain that,
how to keep it up. But like bulk expenses, that, and then not even cooling system attached to it.
Yeah, so on top of like removing the electricity to mine a Bitcoin, they still have all that stuff to account for, and like the majority of like what miners like kind of like say is like just the electricity cost, or like the majority of what people can account for is the electricity cost to mine a Bitcoin for the miners. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of expenses if they're not selling it at a certain price above whatever they're making.
So as soon as like this whole GBTC deflated tire thing goes away, I think we'll see the big, or maybe not the bigger move, but the last like another push somewhere else, like that can maybe change this whole 4-year cycle.
Yeah, it might. The 4-year cycle might just come to an end after this.
We don't know. We're in the process.
Yeah, at least I think going back to that statement where we might not see the huge 60% corrections anymore. Yeah, that's probably over with. Likely.
So after this happening, we wouldn't be able to not go to that 60%, but for it to go, Bitcoin's price has to be above a certain level either way for miners to be profitable.
Oh yeah. We still haven't made it there yet. We still haven't gotten close to the peak.
So for example, like Bitcoin has to get to 100 to get to 200,000, and I'm just throwing a number, 200,000, so it could come down at 60%, so it stays up above 30 or 40 to where the average price of miners now would have to be at to be profitable.
Correct. Yeah. And then as the price goes up, more miners will probably pop up and then be like, oh, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because it costs so much. And look at the price.
So that's going to become a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's going to get real.
The industry's going to change for real. Yeah. For sure. And then if these people in China end up opening up a spot ETF.
That's on more people.
Candela. Just straight up. People buying. So do you think, now I think this might be a good time to address what I said earlier. Next week, Are we up or are we down?
Oh, you want to? Is next week? No, next week is not happening.
Next week is not having.
The weekend is happening.
Yeah, the following weekend.
No.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
That weekend is happening.
That weekend is happening.
I think. So from what I've seen from prior halvings, I think we'll stay ranging for a little bit, and it will depend on GBTC. It will depend on who holds more Bitcoin at that point in time.
Yeah.
If GBTC total total AUM is equal to the rest, or just hold, or the other combined ETFs hold a similar number to what GBTC holds, I think we could see an uptrend.
If it's sitting at around the same price as everybody, the same amount of Bitcoin as everybody else.
Yeah, because that now means they don't have as much sway in the market as they did before. Because currently they're throwing out so much Bitcoin that everyone else has to buy it up, but now they're throwing up this they can't throw up the same amount of Bitcoin away.
Not as many buyers out there.
I wouldn't say not as many buyers. I would just say their market share has decreased drastically, where they don't have the same impact. Bitcoin is going to go up. We'll make tons of money all together. Not financial advice. Let's go bull run.
We're still early.
Well, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell.
Share. Sharing is caring. For your friends and family.
Yeah.
There's this new crypto project around the block. Like I said, I think it's interesting. It's worthwhile. Make note, because I do understand to a degree human habits.
Are you buying it?
Habits. I want to.
Okay.
It's called Taboo. It's a crypto focused around the adult entertainment industry, and that makes money. So yeah, I think I want to buy some. Like I said, I don't know if the camera was rolling, but I said I think it's worthwhile, but I don't necessarily endorse it.
Not a meme coin?
It's not a meme coin. Okay. It's actually.
So what is it?
It's it's supposed to be a new marketplace for live events, live streaming, virtual reality, NFTs, merchandise, and
for the adult industry.
For the adult industry, correct.
That can't be censored on crypto.
Huh?
That can't be censored on crypto.
Yeah, no, I guess it cannot be censored.
Okay.
So
I see a lot of problems here already, but continue.
So I think it's what it is. It's like a private blockchain, not necessarily a public blockchain. So there will have to be some checks where there is adults on it, not other people.
You mean kids?
Yeah. Or I just said other people, but yeah, kids. Kids is accurate.
I mean, kids is really the only problem.
Yeah, that's the only other one. Anyone
to verify age, of course.
Yeah, verify.
So this is one blockchain we're gonna be okay with them taking your age down.
And
having some of your personal information.
For that one, I don't see why not. I don't know. I don't know how the technology is gonna work, but they got $10 million in funding, valued at $250 million.
Wow.
Yeah. The current token is live. However, their marketplace is coming live.
How much is the token at?
Token sitting at 0.002925 cents.
Market cap? Does it say?
Market cap sitting at fully diluted market cap at $28 million.
28 mil. That's a small one.
Yeah, 28 mil. There's a total of 9 billion, 1,000 million, billion. Yeah, 9 billion Taboo tokens.
Yeah, that's a small market cap. If the market cap just goes up $10 million, that's a 10x.
Yes.
Respectfully.
And it's the adult entertainment industry, so there's definitely going to be people who are interested in that. Their actual utility, like this token's kind of just been trading because with a white paper and a roadmap.
What's the token name?
TABOO.
Let's see if it's on sale here.
You let me know. The actual use case for this token is actually coming out. Forgive me. If you're watching this episode April 11th, it will be coming out tomorrow, April 12th. TABOO. Oh,
it's here.
It's on what? Where?
It's on Mexi.
It's on Mexi.
Dude. Oh my god!
Up.
It's currently down. Wait up, because I am.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah,
it looks like an all-time high of 4 cents. That's crazy. It's sitting way below that right now, significantly below that. Came out in 21, so it's been around for 4 years. But yeah. They just got $10 million in funding, and they're about to launch their app.
I'm looking at it, Mexi. It's
Yeah, so they're
it's been out for a little bit though.
Yeah. It's been around for a couple years.
Yeah, their their peak price was 5 cents.
So the the claim here is that there are about 3.3 billion adult content consumers in the world.
It's at a buy.
Versus the crypto industry, which only has 400 million crypto users.
Just to say, at current price, it is at a buy.
This is, I think, one of the better
meme coins.
Yeah, altcoins. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a meme coin. Meme coins literally have no utility.
I mean, fair enough.
This is actually one of the altcoins that I think might make a good fucking money. It's literally centered around one of the world's largest industries. I don't know who said it, but sex sells. 100%.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. It's just, I thought that was an interesting one. It's gonna...
Alex is buying this. I will make sure he buys this.
Yeah.
I will make sure he puts $500 of his own money into this token.
Well, I'll put more. I will put more. It's sex, William. Sex sells.
I'll make sure he buys it within the next week.
My question is.
You gotta buy now, by the way, before it goes up.
Before it goes up, yeah. Yeah, facts. William's gonna help me buy that now.
Stay tuned.
Disclaimer. yeah.
Disclaimer, he might be an investor in it very shortly.
It's gonna have trading pairs with USDT and BNB.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh.
My thing that I saw that I'm actually might not be against is the mansion parties that they're planning apparently with models. That wouldn't be bad. William's looking at me. He's like, you don't use the product you're gonna sell.
Correct.
That's correct.
Whatever.
That's fair. But no. I forgot who said it. Someone said it. And I agreed. I was like, the adult and entertainment industry, as it gets into crypto, it's gonna make waves.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's gonna make waves.
Not wrong about that.
But yeah, that was the last piece of lewd information that I wanted to present, just because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily endorse it. I just think.
But he probably will own it.
I just think investment purposes, it's worthwhile.
Okay. So you have anything else to add?
Fuck pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I can wrap up with 2 things.
Okay.
So this was reported by Simply Bitcoin. Was 12 hours ago. Just in, the stock of Japan's Metaplant _JP surged 90% after the company added 1 billion yen worth of Bitcoin to its balance sheet. They're saying they want to become Asia's MicroStrategies.
Asia's coming around.
Well, it was Japan.
Oh, Japan.
But that
okay.
gap it created is absurd.
The gap?
Yeah, because of the spike.
Mm-hmm. Huge
It's
spike.
like the CME gaps that are created. Like it's just like it starts here, but then it just same idea.
Yeah, the price of Bitcoin went up like crazy today in terms of Japanese yen.
Japanese yen. Well, for them, their stock went up, so it created a gap. And then we have a CME gap on our end that is currently in process of being filled. Well, right now it rebounds, so maybe it typically fills, maybe it doesn't.
CME?
Yeah.
Oh, what does CME stand for?
I'll have to look it up. I don't know what it stands for. It's just the pair relative to what Bitcoin's trading at. Like it's what the institutions buy of Bitcoin. If I'm not mistaken.
I haven't heard that term before, so I was assuming it was like a sales order, like gap, but
I'm looking for you right now.
you're better at searching things up than I am, for sure. I feel like you get straight to you go with words, William.
So the CME is the Chicago
Mercantile Exchange.
Mercantile Exchange itself,
Okay.
and it's it's where they have a Bitcoin pairing trading on.
Yeah, it's like a New York Stock Exchange.
Correct.
Okay, that clicked now. That clicked. Okay, sorry about that, William. Thank you for searching it up. You said Chicago, and I was like, oh, I know what he's talking about now.
I believe that the CME is a futures.
The futures market.
The futures market for Bitcoin.
That's where it's at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a gap between like 68. They have a gap between 68.1 and like 68.5 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And that gap hasn't closed. It's closed a little bit from where we wicked down to now, but it hasn't closed fully on the CME.
Interesting.
On that exchange.
So that gap is what the CME is at and what like the actual price is, or is that gap within the CME?
That gap is within the CME. It's not the current price.
Okay.
That gap reflects the price of which Bitcoin closed at and where it opened up again in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Since the stock market closes and opens and Bitcoin doesn't, it causes gaps for the most part. I believe that's how it would be caused. I'm not 100% on it. I will give that disclaimer.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that.
Because from what I saw, it's the price of it closing and the price of it reopening.
I had to find some information on that because, like, my follow up questions would be what type of implications does that have for the CME or for the Bitcoin pricing? Yeah.
So this is. The gaps arise when there are price disparities between Bitcoin's closing and opening prices on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Okay.
So this is what I just said. It's only caused when Bitcoin price shoots up a drastic amount, and it causes that a large gap.
I see.
And what it causes is that typically that gap just gets filled in. Price gets pushed back down to close the gap.
Okay. I
mean, to not have that giant hole. It'll still be there physically, like in one part, but on the other end, it'll be like it came down and it went right and it reclosed it.
So then this happened in Japan now when that.
No, that was something different.
Oh, that was something different.
We have CME.
Okay, yeah. What
I was referring to is the same way we have a CME gap. They have a gap in their own stock.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the price when it closed. And then the minute it was announced, the Bitcoin shot up so much it was.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like that, there's we have this issue over here, and they had it. Over
They have
there
it with the stock itself, which on the stock side it probably won't close unless it comes down, but it probably won't.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, I saw that Japan had negative interest rates.
Not anymore, but they
just recently took that out.
Yes.
And that's gonna like completely change the economy over there. Definitely things are gonna start getting a little bit more expensive, but
yes,
apparently prices in Japan have been flat, like stagnant, the same.
I think that's true.
For like years, like people have
before COVID.
Like, excluding COVID, because I don't know how COVID affected Japan too much, but like excluding COVID. For like decades, Japan's prices has been stagnant.
I don't know why. I don't know enough about the market to say that.
It had to do with like the fact that their interest rates were always like at 0 or -%.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of like at one point
that means they're working with paper money. Actually.
Yeah. At one point, Japan had a large amount of like production. Like they were really advancing really fast. People started saving money. and they just kind of like kept it there. I don't know the specifics of it, but the fact that they had a negative interest rate was interesting to me because
Yeah.
never heard of negative interest rates. It kind of reminds me of
Negative interest rates would implement. They have to pay you for storing the money in the bank. I mean, you would have to pay them to store the money in the bank because they don't want your money.
They don't want your money.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay them to store your money in the bank.
Yeah.
Doesn't that happen already? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, when negative interest rates happen, the bank doesn't want your money. You have to pay them to have your money.
Yeah.
I don't know if they charge it or not. For the most part, I don't think so. But that's the way it would work. The same way we have it the way we work is we have interest rates positive.
Yeah. So
they pay us to have our money because they want our money.
Mm-hmm. They want it to hold it because then they could work with it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was gonna say something about that. Negative. Oh, that kind of like was reminded me of when oil prices went negative during COVID.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like right after, like a month after the pandemic, everything shut down. Like prices for oil, like a barrel of oil
Should've
went
stocked
down
up.
negative. That was the time they were selling the oil. They're giving you the oil for free. They'll pay you to take it.
Oh.
I was like, what the negative oil? That's crazy.
Would have been a hassle.
We have seen so much stuff.
Market
wise, historic wise, like just events, tragedies, like being born at the age that we were born. Like I really think it's astronomical. We kind of do live like in this like, I want to say clown world, but it's just not. It's just there's so much chaos, so much stuff happens.
It's only going to continue.
It's gonna get worse. Like we're gonna get more and more of this. Not necessarily saying all things are bad. There's obviously a lot of good things. You just have to tone your mind to finding the positives in all of it. But
I don't think you have to tone your mind to find the positives.
What do you mean?
We currently live in the best time to be alive.
Correct. I agree.
There's no other time in history that you would want to live in. Zero.
Other people disagree with that statement.
No, they don't.
Yeah, 100%.
No, they don't.
100% people will disagree with that
They can't.
statement.
No, they won't.
I think they would. I think that people would disagree, but then whenever they do, if they had the opportunity to actually be there, they would.
Who would disagree? Give me an example of someone that would disagree.
William.
There's no one that can disagree with this.
I just can't tell you anything.
They would die in the first week.
I'm not telling you that's not the case, but people will still disagree, even though they're wrong. It's a wrong opinion. But
I don't think people disagree. I think it's a pretty safe bet that we currently live in the best times to be alive. Of modern history, the best.
But then they'd also say that we see some of the worst things ever.
No, we don't.
That's what people would say.
No, we don't.
100%, William.
We had Hitler,
I'm not saying I'm not
Hitler 50 years ago.
And
that's one of the worst things.
What about what's going on in Israel and now, or like in Russia and Ukraine?
That's fine. Let's go back to the reason why the Great Wall trying to exist.
Or how about the bubonic plague that happened? How about COVID-19, William?
That actually killed way more people.
Okay, William.
It shrunk the population size.
Yeah, significantly more because there was a lot less people. Like percentage-wise. It killed a lot more percentage-wise. But it didn't kill as many people as COVID-19 killed. Supposedly.
But it did. It killed more.
No, COVID's much bigger, William. Much bigger. Your computer. He keeps on trying to open up his computer. COVID killed a lot more people. However, there's a whole bunch of debate about that. But on paper, COVID killed a lot more people than the bubonic plague.
That's a Spanish flu, right?
Spanish flu, I think. Yeah. However, the bubonic plague did eliminate a lot more percentage-wise.
The microscopic killer circled the entire globe in 4 months, claiming lives of more than 21 million people.
Okay. You want me to search up how many people COVID died?
I'm gonna Google it. It doesn't even show me a number.
I see 171.
Million?
I would assume it's million because...
I don't see 171. I don't see a number. Okay, I just saw it here. So within a year, this says it killed 171 million. Yeah, I would say million too. Okay, so this article is from WHO.int, World Health Organization. I'll read the first paragraph. On January 3rd, on January 30th, 2020, COVID-19 was declared a public health emergency for international concern, with official death toll of 171.
No, I think okay, yeah.
That's
So
all.
I think
No, that's a
yeah, I think that's 171 deaths.
yeah
by
30,
January
Yeah,
30th.
this
2020.
figure stood at 1,813,188. Yet, primarily estimates suggest that the total number of global deaths attributed to COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 is set at least 13 million, representing 1.2 more deaths than the official report. 3 million people.
For all 3
And
years.
it said globally. What do you mean 3 years? You give it 2. What are you talking about 2, 3 years? You give it 2. 2023 was great.
That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. 2020, 21, and 22.
2020, 21? Yeah, 3 years. Okay, my fault. You're right. I know when I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any numbers. I don't know. Forget it. You're right, William.
I don't want to be right. I just don't know. It just doesn't give a number.
No, but it's not a bad thing to be right about. People who say that we are not living in the best times today would be wrong. But on that statement, I had agreed with.
Man, the fact that it
doesn't give you.
We can't find a gross number to give this.
Okay, so I see here on CDC COVID.
All right.
Total hospitalizations 6.9 million, and then total deaths. This is CDC. There's America, 1.187 million. So yeah, nowhere close.
So even
in
if
America, which is
but even if you 10x that number,
yeah,
through the entire globe, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not. It sucks to compare it to, but you just gave me the pandemic example.
They're both.
The Spanish flu was worse.
No, we're way better off today. 100%.
We're way better off today. You can't argue. It's very difficult to argue. We're better off.
No, 100%. Yeah.
You know, maybe if you want to go, oh, we're better off 10 years ago. Maybe,
but
that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Well, I got nothing.
I have one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay, let's go. What do you got?
So, do you see have you heard what's going on with Elon? Something's always going on with him, but the latest.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
What's going on with him?
So,
he's pulling up his tweets, his Elon tweets.
So it's not really tweets, but it's more so in Brazil.
Brazil? Is he gonna get elected president of Brazil?
No. Okay, I'm gonna read this tweet. Breaking: Elon Musk says that employees. This is not the tweet.
What I did see was apparently someone.
I got it.
Okay.
X pushes back on Brazil's censorship. Brazil courts force X to block certain popular accounts in Brazil. Shortly after, Elon Musk shared that X will not comply with the court order and lifted all the restrictions. Elon: we will probably lose all revenue in Brazil and have to shut down our offices there. But principles matter more than profits. This could result in Brazil's Supreme Court shutting off all access to X. Elon once again puts freedom of speech for all people ahead of platform, keeping his original promise to all X users. Source: X Global Affairs. This was posted by Mario Nafal on X. That, and then this was something that came out later. Breaking: Elon Musk says X employees in Brazil have been told they will be arrested as Brazilian leadership continues to attack free speech. The commitment from Musk came in response to Brazilian politicians Nicolas Ferreira. We need to get our employees in Brazil to a safe place or otherwise not in a position of responsibility. Then we will do a full data dump. They have been told they will be arrested. Insane.
That sucks. That's unfortunate. For the people who are working there. The government of Brazil right now is not acting nice at all. They're being tyrannical, accusing people in the Brazil office. They're gonna arrest them. That's insane.
Yeah.
What do you think Elon should do?
He just said he was gonna do. He's trying to get them to a safe space and probably do a data dump, and then I would assume get them out of there.
What do you mean?
Depending if they're Brazilian.
Do you know what he means by data dump?
No. I would assume either take the data out, dump it all out, like
Yeah, like I think I would
erase
think
it all.
release. No, I would
Release?
think
Oh,
release.
yeah,
Release
release is
all
better,
the stuff that he's been, because he
That-
probably
that's
has
all.
probably has a team right now of a few people, dozen people maybe, just gathering information on.
Yeah, so he probably like would just release all date, like all tweets and everything, like public
Mhm.
tweets that have been in Brazil, like
Mhm.
just made it fully public on all
Mhm.
of X servers. That could be it.
You do realize that there will be some people who would say, "Oh, Elon needs to step up, be responsible for his employees, and take care of them, and block off the people who the Brazilian government's asking to be blocked off."
Yeah, the people will say that.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that was something that's within the realms of
What, but like
that
that,
someone-
that they should censor those
yeah,
people.
yes. Elon is gonna get heat by some people saying, "Oh, he needs to censor them so that he can
Yeah.
protect his people."
And that's why everyone, even though X right now is the wild wild west, everyone's happy to have it like that because it's the one platform where
I have one issue with X.
what?
If I click on a tweet and I scroll down to see replies to that tweet, I'm been noticing a lot of these replies have nothing to do with the tweet. So I'm
That's bots and that's other issues.
I like get into like a whole nother like Twitter thread.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck am I looking at? And then this was one time I didn't even realize. I thought I was on my own page, and then I reached the bottom. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, do I really have a problem like that? And
No problem at time.
I was like, oh wait, no, it's not me. It was like, I really reached the bottom of this thread.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that,
No, I've seen that happen to me too.
yeah, people are gonna say, oh, he needs to censor them.
There will always be an argument for the other side.
Now the question is, will there be casualties of war?
What do you mean? Like actual casualties?
Yeah,
No.
like actual
No.
casualties.
I don't think. I would hope no one actually gets arrested for this.
Of course, 100%.
And if they do, it depends if they're Brazilian or American citizens or both. That's going to be a whole thing. And depending on what it is, more companies will just be like, hey, we don't want American companies here because they don't want to do what they're told. And I'm not upset about that.
I mean, in this particular case, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with elections.
Probably.
Like,
But I'm not upset about that. We're going to do whatever we want. And at least X is going to stand by on its own thing and be like, no, we're not going to block any data or anything.
that's the right thing.
Exactly. Even though your constitution don't agree with it, this is
It's not in the constitution. It's just the
constitution, like in
the government.
to everyone, like this is a right everyone should have, is the freedom to say whatever they want and then deal with the consequences of what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
doesn't necessarily have to be censorship, but it's more like, no, you
could say whatever you want. Just
you can say whatever
you will deal with whatever you said.
Yeah,
like you had to take full responsibility of your words.
Yeah.
So I think we're very brave for making a podcast and talking about stuff all the time.
And not knowing half the things to talk about sometimes.
I mean, that's why accountability is important. We got to do research. But then I think it's just the hot take that we take sometimes is like, sometimes we could tread on water. We could be like.
So a little bit of conspiracy hat.
Put it on, William. Put it on.
So the whole Solana thing, they're saying that the attacks are by competitors, by competing chains, trying to make it unusable so that the users will leave and go to their chain or go to other chains.
To go to other chains.
And hopefully theirs. They're saying one of them could be
Ethereum.
They're saying one of them could be
It's possible. I mean,
just attacking Sol.
Ethereum's not doing too hot right now, so. Oh, that's funny. That's an interesting little tinfoil hat session. Yeah, possible. It's just the use case is so bad. Like,
it's not bad. It was the best we had at the time. Now we got better options. Now we got more tokens.
No, I'm talking about that or thing.
Oh,
it's like everyone gets their own puzzle, and you get rewarded with unlocking that puzzle. So then you gotta send every time you have like a possible solution to that puzzle.
Send it to the chain.
You gotta send it to the chain. That's wrong. Oh, send another one. Send another one. So if it like if you think about miners, they're producing thousands of answers per second.
Yeah.
So like you're just doing constant. It's literally. I feel like whoever made that kind of knew
Works for ETH.
Kind of knew what they were doing.
They work for Ethereum, maybe. Again, we're kidding. It's not
Yeah.
really proven.
I don't know. I just
But
like
it's funny.
either they had absolutely no idea what they're doing, or they knew exactly what they were doing.
One or the other.
It's one of the two. I thought that was hilarious.
So yeah, Elon's getting all that. Hopefully, he makes out of that one, we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
We can wrap it up now.
Thank you guys for joining us this beautiful week.
It's been another week. Catch up. A whole bunch of disasters and messes.
I mean, when isn't it?
Right. It's another week in the
Your
cryptoverse.
favorite crypto podcast.
Wait up.
What?
Like, subscribe, follow,
You already
hit the notification bell. You
already told them that.
gotta do it again.
We lose followers. We lose listeners at this point.
Doesn't matter. We got just in case.
Just in case, guys.
Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment. Maybe you get a response. Maybe you don't.
Tag.
Who knows?
Tag.
Tell us if we suck or not.
Yeah, we got some people telling us we're good. So
Tell us you suck so we can bring our ego down.
yes, do that. We could do that on Reddit.
We can. Well then,
Thank you guys for tuning in.
it's been another week.
Your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes crypto.
The
The Unscripted Crypto Podcast. Hey yo.